You're a good boy. Okay, good morning, beloveds. I'm having a little bit of a slow start this morning. I'm just kind of struggling. I don't think I slept very well. I know I went to bed too late. And I spent all night writing a paper. Yeah. Something about music, but I'm not entirely sure what, so like you have one of those dreams. Like I spent all night in my dreams trying to write this paper about music. So you just wake up exhausted. I did not sleep well. So, all right. Dante is right here. I may or may not be able to get him because he's kind of lumped down, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get him up on camera for you. So we are doing Hidden Power of the Bible. And so let's do the housekeeping. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. It's one email a week. Tell us what's going on for the week and the month, and the hot links are hot. So click here now means it is also a blind CC, so nobody, there's an ear. So nobody will see your email, but anybody else's email list because of us. I also will mention the social media merely from the standpoint of we do not monetize it. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So we ask you to go like, subscribe, follow based on which platform you're on, and then engage with the individual post by reacting, commenting, and sharing. Bumps us in the algorithm. So a free and easy way that you can support the centers by getting our stuff in front of more people. All it costs you is a click. So, and also when you follow or subscribe, if you allow notifications, it lets you know when we go live or when we upload new videos. So, there is that. Okay. Now, the Hidden Power of the Bible, the original title was The Bible in Light of Religious Science, which I think is a funny title. And Dante just left, so all you got was an ear. But I like to point out that this is not a very big book, okay? And it appears that he is going to spend, now I've read this book multiple times, so it appears that he is going to spend most of his time talking about, there were words and they are gone. He's going to spend most of his time talking about Jesus. So that's where we are. We read Malachi, really? Matthew 13 yesterday, and read one of the articles. So we are going to pick up with the concept of a successful person. Could we see the mentality of a successful person? We should find the imprint of success written in bold letters across the doorway of their consciousness. The successful person is sure of themselves, sure of what they are doing, certain of the outcome of their undertakings. As much gathers more, as like attracts like. So success breeds greater success, and conviction is attended by certainty. The whole teaching of Jesus is to have faith and to believe. He placed a greater value on faith and belief than anyone who has ever taught spiritual truth. We are to believe in ourselves because we have first penetrated the invisible cause back of the real self. We are to have absolute faith in our work because we have positive conviction in the inner power, which enables us to do the work. Okay, let me remind you, what he's reminding us is that we are made of divine stuff, that we are made of the same stuff. We're made of God's stuff, and the power that we are using is God's power. We are using a very tiny amount of it, but we are still using God's power. Well, God can do anything in alignment with God's nature, right? So therefore, we should be able to do anything in alignment with God's nature. So that's what we're talking about. But to those who believe only in failure, the law comes in corresponding measure. measuring back to them the logical outcomes of their beliefs. Measuring back to them the logical outcomes of their belief. So if you believe you're going to be a failure, you're right. The habitual failure bears across the threshold of their thought an image of their inability to attain. The old law says that what little they have shall be withdrawn until they have learned the lesson of life in action, meaning until they have learned the law of cause and effect. Each should train themselves and do so consciously to conceive of themselves as a success, sailing on that immense sea of livingness upon whose bosom we are carried forward. We should go from success to greater success. All thoughts of failure and depression must be erased from the mentality, and positive thoughts of achievement should take their place. Have faith in God, in life, and in your fellow person. Have faith in humanity. I know it can be hard sometimes. I get that. Know that right is might. Get some degree of real conviction and stay with it. The cosmic mind is neither wishy-washy nor willy-nilly. It is positive, certain of itself, and sure of the outcome. You are using the cosmic mind. The cosmic mind. So, but yeah, it's that, if you believe you're going to succeed, you're right. If you believe you're going to fail, you're right. It's very rarely do people who believe they're going to fail succeed. It's because, the law is going to respond to you with what you believe. Which is why I always believe that it is going to work out. It may not work out the way I expect it to, but I believe that it'll work out. I also, even when I quote unquote fail, if it doesn't work out the way I expected to, I always remind myself, well, I didn't fail if I learned something. And that's how I can move on and continue to build the faith. It's constantly like, I'm going to continue to dive into the well. I'm going to continue to bring the rocks up, and I'm going to continue to build the cathedral. So, all right. And then ideally, I won't forget that I won't forget that I did the oh, okay. Whew. So the seeing eye. Let's do the seeing eye. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. What is it that the eye should see and the ear should hear? Do not all people's eyes see and their ears hear, but few indeed looking see or hearing hear. We are to see that Spirit creates all things by the power of its own word, and that we are spiritual beings. We are to hear that inner voice of truth, which is ever proclaiming the freedom of all life, the eternal unity of God with humanity. It is useless for those who have never experienced this inner seeing and hearing to deny its reality. A person might as well say there is no meadow because they have never seen one. The world needs spiritual experience as it needs bread and butter. People need spiritual convictions as they need meat and drink. And with spiritual conviction comes all else. To those who have shall be given. Again, it's just reminding you. And I appreciate that, it's like just because you've never seen a meadow doesn't mean they don't exist. That's, yeah. I don't even know what to do with that. But the world needs spiritual experience. The world needs to feel that unity with something greater than they are. That is what Jesse said the very definition of religion is. It is that need for connection to something that is greater than we are. And that's what Ernest is saying, that Jesus is saying in Malachi 13. So tomorrow we will do mustard seed, leaven, and pearl, and then move on to Matthew 15. We're skipping Matthew 14, interestingly enough, but here we are. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up and encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. Hey, let's get this week started off on the right foot. You got this. Be aware of it's only supposed to get to 92 here because we might get some thunderstorms day. So, but drink plenty of water day. You got this day. Let's take care of business day. Make sure you make time to sit down and rest day. I think I'm running out of words, so I'm just going to wrap this up day. A good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, an absolutely beautiful masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. At your own pace. And, as Reverend Jesse likes to say, you are godly, which is what we were talking about today, right? If we're made of God stuff, then nothing can get in our way, except ourselves. So, explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. Anything at all is possible. All right, beloveds, as I said, I'm going to move on into the process of my day. I'm just going to remind you, Reverend David will be on sometime this afternoon. I'll be back with you in that 9:15 space tomorrow. And as I said, we will deal with the mustard seed, the leaven, and the pearl. So, take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you